The Western Maryland's order of 12 484 Northern-type locomotives from the Baldwin Locomotive Works of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, yielded what some historians have claimed as the best locomotive class the WM ever owned. Serial numbers 73082 through 73093 were built in 1947, and to call them Northerns would be incorrect, as the Western Maryland referred to these locomotives as Potomacs, named undoubtedly for the river the railroad closely parallels for many miles. These magnificent locomotives were relatively small when compared to other notable 484s such as the N&W's J class or SP's GS class. The Potomacs were built with 26 by 32 inch cylinders, wall-shirt valve gear, operating on 255 pounds per square inch on 69 inch drivers. After being placed on the scales, final calculations put the engines at an impressive 506,500 pounds, and when combined with the tender, 928,000 pounds. Capable of developing 70,600 pounds of tractive effort, or 4,700 horsepower, and adorned in the handsome 1941 design Fireball scheme, the locomotives were put to use almost immediately, usually being assigned to trains along the Cumberland extension or lines further east. It was a rare treat in the days of Western Maryland steam that a Potomac would travel west of Cumberland on the Connellsville extension, and they were banned from operating on the Elkins division due to excessive curvature. On level track, 5,500 tons were reported, with 8,000 tons being the limit for journeys downgrade. On the rolling grade of the Connellsville extension, which is an average 1.75%, the engines were capable of 1,180 tons unassisted. In a 1947 dynamometer car report, results showed that when comparing characteristics of a J-1 in H9 280 consolidation, an I2 210 decapod, and an M2 4664 Challenger, a Potomac showed flexibility of locomotive account of its adaptability for all classes of service, and based on the rated tractive effort of the 4 classes of locomotive tested, ability to handle same tonnage and maintain higher sustained speeds under comparable operating conditions. During a test run of locomotive number 1401, the engine was operated in through service from Bow West Junction to Rutherford, Pennsylvania, and returned to Hagerstown, Maryland, a distance of 333 miles without cleaning the fire or dumping the ash pan. It was reported this locomotive could have continued the journey to Cumberland without cleaning the fire or dumping the ashes, making a total of 412 miles. Accidents were ill-frequent with the engines, with the exception of number 1411, which ran head-on into a rock slide near the east end of Indigo Tunnel at Pierre, Maryland on May 15, 1950. The engine was promptly repaired in Hagerstown and pressed back into service. The Potomacs operated almost until the end of steam on the Western Maryland in July of 1954, with the full roster languishing until 1957 in the Maryland Junction and Hagerstown roundhouses, awaiting equipment trust to expire before they were all scrapped.